1990, and before Frank and Ken Shamrock made their appearance in the UFC, the Trinity Shamrocks were wreaking havoc in Kentucky wrestling. I've got two of the main reasons right here beside of me. Coach, if you would, introduce yourself.
I'm Ken Ellenbrand.
And you were the head coach of...
I was head coach from 84 to 92, 3. 95. It's been so long I can't even remember it far.
I can understand a lot of time. And you are?
Alex Wray from Trinity High School,
Now,
The Rock.
Now, why are you here? I mean, you didn't do anything special, did you?
I was Trinity's first black state champion at 112 pounds. And it meant something to be part of Trinity, man, be part of a fellowship, brotherhood, and do something that ain't been done before. And I just want to pass the torch to the next one, let them know that if I did it, you can do it. And Coach Ellenbrand was like custom model at that time, and I was Mike Tyson.
Well, I was going to bring that up before we started filming. You talked about how much of a Mike Tyson fan you are. You wore the Mike Tyson shirt. If you grew up in a generation like us, 007-373-5963 was the code to get to Mike Tyson on the Punch-Out. That's my favorite video game of all time. And what I was seeing here on the mat, you, of course, Tyson heavyweight, you're 112 pounds, but you guys kind of had the same, no socks.
No socks, I ain't wear socks.
So all the Tysonisms, but kind of walk us through your wrestling career. How did you find wrestling?
First of all, man, wrestling found me. My mother had me in a lot of different sports growing up. I was always too little to play football. My mom had me in dance. I was in karate for years, Arabian Nights. My cousin's Dwayne DeWright Cross on 28th, learning karate. But when I came to Trinity, man, I was too small to play football. And Coach Ellenbrand found me in the hallways. He said, man, you can be a champion in your weight class. You can be a monster in the weight class that you can find. And he made me the monster I was in the 80s. Nobody didn't want to see me during that time.
I believe. Now, Coach?
No, I didn't make him that mean. He was already halfway.
Well, I was going to say, you're walking the halls here at Trinity High School. You see, this had to be, what, probably 86, 87, somewhere in that time frame. Did you see him and say, this kid has it? But I can't really tell what it is, but he has it.
Well, yeah, he was too little to play football, I thought. So, you know, and he was walking around doing nothing. So I said, well, you may as well come out with me.
I can understand.
You know, we'll see what you can do in wrestling. Mm-hmm. And he ended up doing really well.
Absolutely. Now, don't answer, but when he comes into the weight room, or to the mat room, I should say, first practice, I'm sure it's probably hard to remember. Do you have any memories of him wrestling that wasn't him winning? Like, we got to work on your shot. We got to work on this. Did you try to, like, wring his neck one time and say, why are you, you know?
Quite often.
Okay. I can understand that.
Know, when the guys come out, he had no idea what wrestling was to start with. And when he came out, it was tough to get him to do what he was supposed to do.
Mm-hmm. I can understand
but
that.
He was agile, had good balance, and we sent him to wrestling camps. And because of that, he ended up doing really well.
Now, the city of Louisville, back in the 90s, 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s, that's where pretty much all the major Kentucky wrestling schools were. And like, I've got the 1969 video, and the state tournament was actually held in Trinity's gym. It was on the Kentucky School for the Blind mat.
Right.
But like, did you guys have to travel for a wrestling camp? Did you, like, was it in-house or?
No, we had to go everywhere.
Okay.
We had to go to, what was the one you went to?
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. We had
Oklahoma,
to go all the way
wow.
out to Oklahoma. And I took 6 or 7 guys, and we drove out to Oklahoma, stayed out there for 4 or 5 days, and then came back.
That must have been a real hub for wrestling because 1991, or for camps, I should say, because 1991 state champion from Sean Clark, Chris Goss, he said he went to Iowa and stayed like a month.
Wow.
That he stayed, and he was Ken Chertow was one of his coaches. So all Oklahoma, Iowa, all that through there had to be just like a camp central back then.
We had a few guys go to Iowa.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, we had some go up to Iowa. We had them going everywhere. I mean,
Now,
that's the one way to improve yourself.
the 1989, your team wins the team state championship.
Right.
It takes people don't understand the sport of wrestling, and I love that this series is getting out to more people, but you can't just have one really great wrestler. You got to have an entire team.
Exactly.
So kind of walk us through, how did you build the 1989 team to win state championship?
Well, the first thing we did was send our kids to camps. We went to 6 or 7 camps during the off season.
Right.
And we got all these kids together, and we sat and talked. And I said, "It's up to you guys. What you want to do. You want to improve yourself. We can go to camps. We can do this and do that. But you have to be dedicated in order to do that." So we come up here in this little room we had, and they conditioned, and it was probably tougher than any of those kids have ever done. I mean, it's really tougher than football or anything else you have around here.
Right.
So they have to be dedicated. I think Alex, how many camps did you go to, Alex? 6 or 7?
Yeah, you move me around.
Yeah. You can't just do it. I couldn't teach them all that they needed to know.
Right.
Because I was just beginning myself. So we sent them to camps in Iowa, everywhere in the United States,
I got you.
in order to get the different techniques. Then they would come back and show me what they learned from those college guys, and then we showed the other kids.
And
the
wrestling
way you
is
have
a
to build
sport that you have. I mean, refereeing, as long as I have, getting to go out and meet people, wrestling. Even today, there's probably going to be 6 or 7 Kentucky schools that are going to be starting wrestling this coming season. Not like in my end of the state, and there's a couple on the western end I believe it's going to start as well. But you said a really great thing right there, a lot of experience coming out, is sometimes there's stuff that you don't know.
Exactly.
And there's no shame in reaching out. If you're a young team starting out, reach out to some of the people that's been around the sport for a while and say, hey, what can you show me? What can I learn from you?
All these different coaches, they have different techniques and different ideas on how to wrestle.
Right.
And the more knowledge you get from those other coaches, it's going to make you a better wrestler. And that's what happened with Alex.
And that kind of leads me into my next point. Perfect segue, Coach. 1989, you're on the team, state championship team. Do you remember what weight you wrestled?
112 pounds.
112, okay. Did you place that year?
I did not place. I didn't place.
That's
didn't
fine.
place.
It happens. You scored points though.
Yes, I scored. I scored.
Okay.
I scored points for the team.
And that's where. So what was it between the 1989 season and 1990 season that changed?
Oklahoma State's camp.
Oh,
The white shoes.
fair enough answer.
After we won the state championship, somebody stole my shoes out of my bag, and my mother made me. She wouldn't buy me no new shoes, so I had to take my white shoes, my freshman shoes, to camp.
Right.
And I went to camp with Brian Selke, Tim Lezak, and Richard Brown. And when I walked into camp, everybody thought I was a freshman because I had white shoes on. So they laughed at me like, look at this dude.
Right.
So luckily, some of the college kids liked my style. And after one practice, John Smith, the Olympic wrestlers was there.
Right.
Coach O.C. was the head coach of the Olympic team then. So all the Olympic guys was there. So John Smith one day was wrestling Chris Owens after, practice. And actually Chris Owens took him down and John Smith went crazy, started shooting crazy and bending his legs and beating him up really bad. So afterwards, all the kids wanted their shoes signed. So I walked up to John Smith like everybody else was doing, and I asked him to sign my shoes. He said, I don't sign white shoes, and he wouldn't sign my shoes, actually. So it broke my heart. So after the white shoes, Mark Tomino was one of the campers. He liked me, and he says, who's your favorite wrestler? I said, Kenny Mundy is. He says, Kenny Mundy's my workout partner. I says, I'm going to find you one day, don't do nothing. So one day I'm eating, he comes and gets me in the cafeteria, brings me outside, and Kenny Mundy is outside,
Wow.
like with his flip-flops on and, Kenny Mundy, and he says, where's your shoes at? And he signs my white shoes. And I was like, well, that's really cool. And he says, good luck this weekend at the tournament. Because they had a big tournament at the end of the camp. And I won the tournament. I beat a state champion from Oregon and Oklahoma to win the state championship. And I didn't place that year in the state. And that medal and them white shoes solidified it and let me know that when I came back to Kentucky, everybody's gonna get some.
Yep.
It's gonna be on like a pot of neck bones, and it was.
I can understand, and that's something too that a lot of people are reaching out from other states watching the series, and they're like, we didn't realize Kentucky had such great wrestling. We didn't realize that Kentucky had, such depth. And Kentucky's not classed. It's not split divisions. It's not 1A through 6A or whatever like football or track and cross country is. If you win, you're the best. If you win, you are the man of your weight class. And that's what, like I said, with, I know I've got a lot of comments on Isaac Knables. I know St. Xavier's is Trinity's big rival, but Isaac's a 4-time state champion. A lot of people watched Isaac's video and was like, wow, Livingston Merritt's another one, heavyweight, George King from Union County, all these early 2000s, late 90s wrestlers that people are just now starting to see. They're like, wow, we didn't realize. We just didn't know Kentucky had such good wrestling. So you going into Oklahoma, beating Oklahoma state champ and Oregon state champ, hey, Kentucky's in the house, right?
Yeah, we're in the house.
We're in the house. So you get knocked out of the 89 state championship, don't place, but you come back 1990 with a vengeance. Now, you guys had, you wrestled in the era I did. You had districts and regions. I'm sure you probably won your district and region.
Yes, I did.
Who was, everybody's got one. Who was your district rival? And don't say you don't remember.
Oh, in 89, it was,
Say somebody from St. Xavier just to keep the rivalry going.
Well, actually, man, St. X, I'm going to be honest with you. There's a good friend of mine. His name is Chris Zenner. He's from St. X. And Coach will tell you, he came back and wrestled with me while he was in college. Because he says, Alex, you better really do something I ain't never been done before. And I love your style of wrestling. And he came back and gave me love. St. X gave Trinity love.
Yeah.
He helped me with my stand-up.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
I got you. So I got to put you on the spot. In
Go
the
ahead.
city of Louisville, Trinity, St. Xavier both have the green. Who's the true green color?
Come on, everybody knows it's a rock.
The
Trinity.
I wore my Mighty Morphin Power Ranger Green Ranger shirt today. It's because I knew you'd say Trinity would be the true green here in the city of Louisville. So St. Xavier, shots fired at you.
Yeah.
So you win your district, you win your region.
Yes.
You're going into the state tournament. You remember your record?
37-1 or 38-1. I had one loss that year.
Okay. I think it says 36-1 going into the finals.
36. Okay. 36.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, of course, it's held at Atherton. How far is Atherton away from Trinity?
30, 40 minutes, maybe, not that far.
No, not that far.
15?
Probably about 15 or 20 minutes.
Okay,
Even
because
better.
I know the city of Louisville a little bit. I know enough to get around, but as far as every little school, I just don't know. So I'd like to ask guys where, like Tendai Cherisika, his 94 and 95, he said he went home and took a nap between his semifinals and finals because he won at 94, 95 at Atherton and 96 in Frankfurt. He said he was able to go home and take a nap.
Wow.
So that's kind of cool that you're that close. You can go home and take a nap. But let's go through your bracket real quick here. The first round, I got to ask you, you get a forfeit.
I know, man. I knew you were going to say that.
It was
Tough match.
Jeremiah Maddox from North Hardin. Did he just say, hey, man, I see what's up?
It's funny you say that because I seen him actually. I remember him on the scale, and he was over like a half a pound.
Oh, he missed weight?
He missed weight.
Oh, my goodness.
And he was like, they had enough time to he had enough time to make weight. He was like, and I heard him say, he says, I ain't going to win anyway. I heard him. I was like, okay.
My goodness. Woo. So he missed weight, huh?
He missed weight.
Wow.
It hurt me, actually. It didn't
Wow.
help me. It hurt me.
I can see that.
That first match.
Then you go in and you wrestle Doug Oxher from Johnson Central.
Woo.
And you go to a 2-2 decision at the end of regulation. Then you wrestle in overtime.
Yes, I did.
That goes to a 1-1 decision. Now, overtime was a way different than what it is now. Coach, kind of walk us through overtime procedures.
You went, during that period, you went overtime, and if it was still a match, then you went sudden death in the next period.
Okay.
So whoever scored the next period was the winner of the match.
Now, kind of catch me up on my timeline here, because doing these videos, going different places in different years, was it 3 1-minute periods like a regular match unless there's a fall? Or,
Yeah,
okay.
three 1-minute periods.
And then at the end of that, it was whoever had the high score or whatever.
Yes.
But on this particular bracket, first time I've seen this,
Criteria.
you go to criteria.
Yes.
And it says criteria number 4.
Right.
So do you remember what criteria number 4 was?
I do. I do remember that.
Well, let's hear it.
It was who scored in the first overtime who scored in the first overtime? Who scored the first points?
Okay.
That's against. Actually, I lost to Chris Rump in criteria in King Club Bluegrass. Only time I lost to my senior year. I lost in criteria, and Coach told me after I lost that match, he told me, he says, don't give any opportunities where you shouldn't give. You got to take advantage of opportunities when they come, and don't get in that situation.
Right.
And I got back in that situation. That match, that forfeit, it hurt me
Yeah.
because I was still kind of dry. I hadn't had a match.
I got you.
And the guy from Johnson Central was a hammer.
Yeah.
I've wrestled him before.
He, Doug, I know Doug. He's pretty good dude.
Yes, he is. He's a tough guy.
You get to the semifinals, you're wrestling Rusty Logan from Hoptown,
Woo!
and you put it on him.
Boy, coach jumped on me because he was like, "You about ready to mess up everything. You worked so hard to get here, and you about ready to blow it. You better wake up, Alex, cut the switch on, and take it to him." And that morning, I did.
And you win that by a 17-4 decision.
Yes, I did.
So you kind of have a tough match in your quarters. I'm not saying you breezed because that's not a good
No.
word, but you wrestled apparently better than you did in the first match.
Yes, I did.
Against Logan there of Hoptown. And I guess Coach Placer would have been there. You remember Coach Placer, Coach?
Yes.
From Hoptown?
Yes.
Every person that I went to that wrestled for Coach Placer at Hoptown, I went and done the marathon session there. Damian, Level, and Livingston set that up, so shout out to them Hoptown guys. But everybody that wrestled for Hoptown talked just absolutely just such high praise of Coach Placer, kind of like you are today with your coach, but he obviously couldn't be there that day. But you get to the finals, and you're wrestling Troy Nichols from Caldwell County. Now, Caldwell County is the opposite end of the state, almost looking at the Mississippi River. Caldwell County is a school that always has good wrestling. You don't really think about them, but they always have kids that are good. Always. They always have, a couple placers. And Caldwell County is the type of team, I'm not saying that they're not important, but you just don't think about them, and they can sneak up on you. And just like, whoa, what happened? What's going on? So, Coach, you have any memories of Caldwell County wrestling?
Well, they were always tough. We always had a good matches against Caldwell. I mean, he always had, and I don't know how he did it, but he always had good teams.
Yeah.
Now, he was a good coach. There's no doubt about that.
We done the video with 1992 video with Eric Dingus from Harrison County, and he wrestled Joey Roby from Caldwell. And Joey was a really good leg rider for 152 pounds back then. Like, whoa, he's doing stuff that
Yes.
kids today do. I'm like, wow, just a great leg rider. But of course, we're not going to tell you the score. We're going to watch along, score it. We're going to let Coach interject his commentary, what he would be saying from the corner. We got some teammates here. You guys are going to be seeing another video for Trinity. We're not going to spoil it here, but we got a lot of people here today inside the Trinity wrestling room. Thank you to Trinity for having us, letting us come up here and film this video. It's really great to be able to come to the wrestling room and have the team, the school support. And you had a pretty short drive in today, didn't you?
yeah, you can say that.
So where'd you come from today?
North Carolina, Ashe County, right around Boone. Yeah, I help everybody out, Boone, North Carolina. Everybody heard of Boone, North Carolina. I'm about 30 minutes out of Boone in Ashe County and Crumpler. So it took us about 6.5 hours to get here, 7, but it was worth it. I couldn't have been here without this man right here. I wouldn't be the coach I am and the man I am today without him touching my life. And I couldn't have done this. That's why I didn't want to do it without him. He's my peanut butter to my jelly. Coach Ellenbrand is the man.
I totally respect that. And when I started the series, I think George King's video was the first one that everybody was sharing, and it hit 1,000 views, just like that. It blew up. And I think you reached out right after that. You added me on Facebook, and hey, my name's Alex Wray, Trinity, 1990, 112 pounds. You have my video. At the time, I didn't, which lucky you had a copy of it. but we tried to figure out a way to get together, and it worked out this weekend. We could get together, so thank you for coming in, and thank you for being a part of the series. Enough of us talking. We're going to get, like I said before, we're going to get in the DeLorean, go back to 1990, and watch this video. We're going to see if Alex still wins it. All right, you guys are seeing what we're seeing. We've been joined by some of Alex's 1989, 1990, some other years' teammates. We're going to watch this match. It is the 112 pounds at Atherton, and we're going to get it going here.
Oh, there you are.
All right, so what's your go-to takedown from neutral? What are we doing? What are we trying to do?
Sweep single. I'm trying to go to outside single. That's what I'm trying to do, but he's trying to stop me.
I'm going to turn down. Go ahead. Keep talking, guys. I'm going to turn the volume down just a little bit.
He has crazy hips, man. Troy Nichols had great hips.
Troy Nichols is a good
All right.
wrestler. He just wasn't good enough.
No, he was not.
I like that, Coach. That's a good good answer there.
I was trying to body lock him here, but his hips got out of that
Yeah.
one.
All right, we're out. We're neutral. So, Coach, what are you yelling to him? You remember? Stay off your knees. What we yelling at him?
I tried to get him to shuck him and get behind him like he did right there. Arm drag and pull him behind.
You still have the coach voice. There it is. You got your two.
There you go. Nope.
You can probably hear Coach.
He's got to have control.
There we go.
Out of bounds.
So, when we're talking up, down, what's your go-to breakdown? What are we looking to do, Alex?
I'm breaking down for cradles, but if I get you like this, I'm trying to dump you on your head and try to pin you. But he was trying to stay away from my mat returns.
Right.
As you know, some of the schools call me slammer jammer, because I like to slam you a little bit.
The problem was he was too tall.
Yeah, you can tell he's tall.
Yeah, he's a tall wrestler. There you go.
I was trying to catch him in the cradle. He went out of bounds on me a little bit.
Yeah.
It was smart.
You almost had it.
There we go. We're out.
My goal was not to give him no more points. My goal was to stop him for no points, make it 2-0 to go into the second period.
So that's what I've got it as right now, 2-0. Ooh, no, that
This is
sound
the
like.
second period.
So did you choose neutral?
Yes.
Or down?
I
Did he-
deferred. I let
Okay.
him. He went down. He tried to catch him with his hips, but thank God for good hips.
Yeah.
Good movements.
Yep. All right, so we're neutral. I got
Yep.
2-1 now, right?
2-1. The goal is I'm trying to get another takedown really bad, but I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get myself in no trouble.
Coach, you know who the referees are for this? Is Joe Catan out there by chance? No.
I can't see.
Who? Alan Martin. Okay.
Is that Martin?
My goodness. Now is this you here with your back to us?
Yeah, that's Coach right there in that jacket.
Who's with you in that corner, Coach?
Isn't that Tom?
Was it?
And we are in
I'm sitting in the
Atherton.
car. I don't remember who's.
Okay, that's fine. I just
I
was curious. It's not a big deal.
I just watch the matches. I don't,
Right.
unless he tells me I need to do something wrong.
I was just hand fighting a lot, trying not to get in no bad situations. If I had seen a takedown, I was trying to get one, but I didn't want to get myself in no bad situations.
I like those. I like that singlet. They got the gray.
Gray with the green.
Yeah, I like that.
If you notice, I have no socks on.
Yep.
That's nothing unusual for you.
Nothing.
I don't think you owned a pair of socks.
A lot of hand fighting, stands. Trying to do nothing crazy because it's 2-1. Now I'm
2-1.
choose down. I choose
All right.
down.
So you choose down.
Yep, third period. Nobody can hold me down.
Now, Coach, was that a tactical decision, always going down, or just depend on the match?
For Alex, yes. Usually he can get up quicker than this.
Troy's really good at
But
holding
Troy-
me down.
Yeah, he's such a long body.
Yeah.
And no offense, but Alex is just short. There you go. Turn
There it
inside.
is.
There you
Spins.
go. Good move.
Dynamite comes in small
Yes,
packages.
it does.
All right. So it's 3-1.
Yep. 3-1. Now I'm like, look, I'm not doing nothing crazy. I'm just going to circle, hand fight, I haven't got a stalling call on me yet.
Let him shoot.
Yeah, let him, cause he's gotta come. I said I don't put myself in trouble when I don't have to,
Right.
but I gotta look busy. I gotta look active, and I gotta stay aggressive.
Yo, you're exactly right.
Could have shucked him right there. You're so agile on your feet. That's the thing. You're quicker than everybody else.
There you go.
You're almost at the end.
He's not doing anything either.
Well,
Am I stalling, ref?
no, you're working. You're working.
I think this is the first time I've seen this.
Have you?
I think so. Well, once you win it, I don't have to watch.
Yeah.
Only when you lose, I have to watch.
So,
Here's the thing, you're so quick and agile on the top.
I tried to. I was gonna do that, but I was like, I don't wanna. I wanna give him nothing. I have to go into overtime.
right.
That's it.
There it is.
What? See the ending? What icing on the cake?
Get your hand raised.
I had to jump on my man.
All right. So, watching it all these years later, guys, kind of, did it play out the way you thought it did? Was anything change, like actually watching it to what your memory was?
No, it was kind of like yesterday, man. I mean, you know, that's how it felt. Even like being
Yeah,
here
just
being here with him and my teammates and my Trinity family.
Yeah,
Guys,
just like you always
going in, did you think he had it, or?
I did.
Well, that's good. That's good, man.
I always thought he did. I always thought he had them all.
The
Coach always told me put the work in.
Yeah.
Like in the off season, man, I would run from 38th and Broadway. If you don't know where that's at, I live downtown in the West End. I would run down Broadway, go through Shiny Park, come out of Shiny Park, hit Algonquin, go through Chickasaw, hit Algonquin, go all the way across Bardstown Road, come through the park here, come to Trinity's, the old wrestling room, and I would touch the door on Saturdays. That was my run
My
on Saturdays.
goodness.
What was that, about 7 miles?
About 40, 50 miles.
Yeah.
I would do that every Saturday. I had friends that was like, man, why are you running out in Trinity and St. Matthews? I said, no, I'm not. I ran from the West End to St. Matthews
My goodness.
because I got to do what nobody else is doing to get to what I want to get to.
That's-
And Coach put
He
that
did.
in.
He worked hard.
Yeah,
That's
you're-
what you have to, though.
You're exactly
You have
right. Coach, any you can critique him now. It's all these years later. Anything that you was like,
No.
man, you should have.
See, with Alex, you didn't have to do a whole lot. You know, you tell him one time, and he'd pick it up right away.
That's.
I mean, and then you just you show him a film, and if he done something wrong, you show him the film and pick it up again.
That's,
So he's probably. I mean, I had some good wrestlers on those teams, but he was probably the best wrestler we had as far as techniques.
yeah.
Of course, he went. How many camps did you go to? 5 or 6 camps.
Send me
you know?
camps. But the thing about it is, man, with Trinity, man, that I noticed, we was more of a family, and Coach did that for us. He took us in. You know, you have that coach that'll pick you up when you down and you need some help, some inspiration. I didn't want to come back my sophomore year. He came and got me and told me, man, you got something you got to finish.
Yeah.
And I want to thank all my teammates, the ones that are here, that they don't even know how much they meant to me. Greg Shirk, David Brennan, Brian Texas, Carl Coon. Scott was there. He lived it all.
Yeah.
Richard Brown, rest in peace. All my brothers. I couldn't have got there without them pushing me along, beating me up, leading me in the right direction. It's not how you start. It's how you finish.
Yep. You're exactly right. 100%
Well, the thing
agree.
was, he was walking the halls in school.
He took advantage of your
When I talked to him
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
to get him to come out.
And that's a great story, and that's why I love doing the video series. Is for stories like this. Is for to be able to show the connection, because I would just about guarantee, because when I went to LaRue County and I met with Jim Shaw, Dietrich, and Ozzie Parker, Gary Canner was going to try to come. There was a family issue. He couldn't make it. He had to go to Ohio, I think, that day. But you can just see how the connection is for wrestlers and wrestling coaches. wrestlers and wrestling coaches. And I'm sure there are some times that you was like, I hate this sport. I don't want to see my coach again. I'm done with it. But you was right back in the wrestling room the next day.
Not Coach Ellenbrand.
Guarantee you there was times that they worked hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I pushed them.
And it shows,
They had-
I mean,
you had to.
Our
You know,
rooms,
be
our
better
rooms,
than
our
that.
rooms was tough.
Yeah.
You see the old monsters here. They still
Yeah.
monsters.
yeah.
You'd come in here and you'd slide on the mats that was,
Had the
they
heat
worked
turned
so
up
hard,
at
they
night.
were sweating so much.
I believe
But you
that.
have
And
to.
you guys, earlier you saw like behind there was a trophy wall. I'm sure this isn't all the trophies Trinity's won. There's 3 team state championships, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
I don't know how many individual state champions you guys have. Does Coach, how many individual state champions, anybody? All the
They were on the wall.
Trinity has all their 2-time, 3-time. You got your John Fahey's 4-time state champion, one of only 9 in Kentucky.
2 dozen individual.
How many?
2 dozen.
24 individual
State
state champions, 3 team state titles. Trinity is a school that you don't want to see on your side of the bracket, no matter if it's wrestling, football, soccer. Today they're out here having a soccer scrimmage, I guess it is. Whatever sport you play, you don't want to see Trinity on your side of the bracket. You're like, uh-oh, we're playing for, let's keep it respectable sometimes. Let's keep it, within the mercy rule or whatever. But guys, thank you all for coming and doing this today. I really greatly appreciate it. I know the people that wrestle for Trinity, the people that remember you guys, your teammates, are going to enjoy getting to watch this. And you've got it forever now. Your kids, your grandkids, people involved with the Trinity program. I know I went and done Bo Hoppin's video at Bo's house, just right over here.
Yeah.
And we had all of his kids running around. First time they ever got to watch Dad wrestle, and he had his singlet. He brought his singlet out, his ring. You could just tell how much it meant for him to say, I went to Trinity. I'm part of Trinity's program, and now you guys are getting to show that. So thank you for doing this, Coach. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Any closing statements you'd like to make?
Yeah, I want to say one thing. I want to thank you because what you doing, man, is letting everybody see, man.
Yeah. promote it.
Champions at their time in that era, they was monsters, and don't forget about us.
Yeah.
We still here.
Well, and you're promoting it.
Yes.
You're promoting the
Yes.
wrestling
Thank you.
program.
Thank you. I really appreciate
That's what
that.
you have to have around here.
It's I know as much as anybody, wrestling gets overlooked. I mean, wrestling
Yeah.
gets overlooked at every turn, every banquet. And I know schools, they'll have banquets for their sports or at their winter programs and all that. But wrestling, basketball, and I love basketball, don't get me wrong. I love basketball, football, all that. But a basketball team can win a district championship in some cities. They get the whole front page of the newspaper, or every social media post is about winning the basketball state championship. A wrestling team can win a state championship, and they get like a little blurb.
Paragraph.
Trinity wins 1989 team state championship. And that's it.
Yeah.
No, nothing.
Yeah.
And it's just so refreshing to be able to put our sport out there. I've heard from a lot of people from different years saying that this is like a bridge between the old and the new. This has been able to connect the whole state, and that's what we want, is a community of people that can go to the YouTube channel and say, I remember this guy. Or, there's going to be somebody that's going to see this video and say, I wrestled Alex Wray. He may have beat me, but I scored a point on him.
Yeah.
Dad, he may have got me, but Dad scored a point on him. Or he didn't, he couldn't pin old Dad, or, whatever.
I love that. I love that.
George King has my favorite line of the whole series. He's maybe not now, but at one time Dad could do it.
Ooh, I like that.
And that, those of you who know George, George's become a good friend of mine. Up until the video, I'd never met him, and he said that, and I'm like, I'm going to use that in every video, because not every wrestler becomes a dad, but the majority of men become dads at some point, and it's good to be able to sit the kids down, the grandkids down, whoever, and say, hey, this was me in my day. Dad could do it.
Yeah.
And a lot of kids now are like, watching Dad, I can beat Dad. I'm better, I could beat Dad. If you put us on the mat now, I know Damian Level, his son, one of his, claimed Booby, his name's Damian too. Whenever we send him the video for the team to watch because I told Damien, I said, Damien, please don't watch it. Don't watch till we watch it live. And his son watched it and come out and he was like, I could beat you.
The thing about
Dad,
this
I could
sport-
beat you.
The thing about this sport is you build your confidence with this,
Yep.
and when you get older, you still have that confidence, and you can do things that you didn't think you could do.
I won't say who it is, and we'll close with this. There was a good friend of mine, friend of the channel. He wrestled in school. I'm not going to say where, but he wrestled, and he had to have a kidney replacement. He's close to my age, and he had to have a kidney transplant. He about passed away on us. And talking to him after the fact, and he was like, "Yeah, I was sick. Yeah, I didn't feel good, but it wasn't hard as wrestling practice."
Guarantee it.
And I was like, "My God,
That
what
mentality.
what a mindset to have of I've got to have an organ replaced in my body, but it wasn't as hard as wrestling practice." So that shows you just how much the sport can do for people, how much it brings people together. Guys, thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. I see that big. What's your ring for, Coach?
That's our state wrestling ring championship.
We got to see it. This is the, what is it, the 2000,
I don't know if you got the date on there someplace.
okay, this is a big Trinity ring, really, really sharp. You can always spot that green. Something about that green in it, Coach.
Always, always.
Even if it is your last name. All right, so we're going to wrap this one up, put a bow on it. That's all we got from 1990. No, we're not done with Trinity today. We got one more video, very special video that I'm excited to get to do. But guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for coming from North Carolina, Coach. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
I really
Thank you.
appreciate it. So, as I can say with all of them, if there's years that I don't have, please reach out so we can do more videos like this. I'll include a screenshot at the end of it of the years I have. If you have a year like Alex, he went to Walmart and had his converted. I have a digital converter, VHS, DVD. Also, we've got the old, for those of you who remember what a VHS tape is, we've got all that going on today. So if you have a year that I don't have, please reach out so we can do more like this. But that's all we got. Alex Wray, 112 pounds, 1990. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys on the mats.